I see it's a Sima Yavna. Okay, so tomorrow, what we did at 4:30? Is that what we did last week?
4 we did
No,
last
4
week.
we did last week.
Okay, we can do 4.
Okay, 4 works.
Okay.
Okay, 4 it is.
And
We're
then
on-
was Shabbos and Shul.
Oh yeah, Shabbos and Shul. What did we do? 5:30, I think we did.
Yeah, that worked.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, shit.
no Navi Shir Sunday night.
Yeah.
It's Purim, but we will do Daf. I mean, we should do Daf Yomi. We could probably do it maybe like
In the morning. In the morning,
8:30.
no?
We
Oh,
could,
do it at night, 8:30 at night?
I mean, we could do it. I mean, I lay in the Megillah
Okay.
at Yavna in the morning. If you want it, we could do it in the morning. Whatever you guys want.
Works for me. 10, 9:30?
I think 10 o'clock's a nice idea.
Okay.
10 o'clock
Okay.
before we go out in the middle of the day. Yeah, I think it's a good
Okay.
idea.
So what, Sunday, 10 a.m.?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Toshma Ganav Shanatham is we're dealing with the sugya of Yehu Shalomidas. That means the owner doesn't know that he lost it. Is it already considered abandoned on an item that he normally would abandon? Machlokas Abaya and Rava. Abaya says there's no Yehush. According to Rava, there's Yehush. So a Ganav Shanatham is Evan Aslan. A Ganav steals, and then he gives it as a matana to somebody else. Now, a ganav is someone who steals at night. You don't know who it is. A gazlan is somebody who holds you up. You know who it is. The Jordan River flooded and washed an item into your backyard. So both the Ganav and the Gazlan, and the case of the river, the Bailim have given up hope. And therefore, when the Gazlan gives it to somebody else, it's his. So Bishma Yardain, a owner sees the river flooding his backyard. He abandons hope of ever finding it back. But Ganav, Mika Chazile Demiyash. A person doesn't know when a ganav creeps in at night. So the person doesn't even know that he has lost something. And maybe he has not abandoned hope. Yet we say the guy who finds it can keep it, which seems to be like Rava, that Yehush Shalomidas, there's Yehush. Tirgma Rav Papa, we're talking about Bilisti Mizuyan, an armed robber. He does it openly. And then once he steals it, he runs away. And then it's not known like every other Goslin. Yachi Ainu Goslin. Well, that's a Goslin then. Trey Gavni Goslin. So there's two types. But in both types, whether it's a Ganef or a Goslin, the Bailim has known about it, and that's why they were Miyash. Toshma. Shotaf Nar Koirov. Person had some wooden beams in his backyard. A river washed it away, or eitz of avana b'tachsadeh chavero, and washed it into his neighbor's field. Hare elu shalom. The owner of the field can keep these items. Mipnei shenis yashua abaylim. When there's a flood and a river washes something away, the person doesn't expect that he's going to be able to find it, so he's mafkir it. Taima. Because we know the Bailim were Misyayish. Hastama low. But if we don't know what the mindset of the Baal is, then we say there's no Yeush. So which is like a Baya. The owner could have saved it, he didn't save it. And it's clear that therefore he wanted to be mafkirid. What did the Sefer say? If the owner is chasing after the item, then whoever finds it has to return it because it's clear that the original owner didn't want to abandon it. If the guy could save it, my area beradfin. Why it's only if we see him running after us? It's clear that the Bailim did not abandon it. He could save it, but it would take him a lot of effort. If we see him running after it, he proves that he's not abandoning it. If he's not running after it, it's clear that he's abandoned it. Toshma. Ketzad Amru. Hatorm Shlomidas Trumaso Truma. A person goes into the field of his neighbor and he separates Truma without the Bailim know it. Trumaso Truma. The leakate and Toram Shalo Bershus. If he went into his neighbor's field and he harvested fruit for the owner and gave Truma without permission, Im Choishesh Mishum Gezel, if the owner thinks that the friend is stealing from him, ain't Truma so Truma. But the imlav Truma so Truma. Uminayin hu yodea im choishesh b'shum gezel. How do we know whether the owner is suspecting of the guy of stealing? Areshaba balabaisu matsu. The owner comes into the field and sees that his friend has separated Truma. You know what? You should have gotten better. You should have separated better produce. So, Nimsu Yafois, man, if you investigate the field and you find better stuff, so it's clear that the Balabais was happy. And therefore he's maskim, b'di'evet, that the truma that he gave was truma so truma. Now, in Lav, if we don't find higher quality produce in that field, must be that the Balabais was angry. And he made a fun, he was sort of joking. Oh, you couldn't find better than this? Meaning, it's clear he's not happy. But im look to our bailim, if the bailim added fruits to what this friend did, whether he says the statement of klachetz liyafo is truma or truma. Now, v'chinimtzu yafos men truma or truma. We say that if we find better quality in the field, then that he agrees. Amai, being the term alo aviyada. When his friend gave the truma, he didn't know about it. So this is a kashan abaya, where the guy doesn't know about it, but we assume that he agrees. Tirgum Ravi lemed abaya, deshavi shaliach. The person had been appointed a shaliach to separate truma. The only question is how much shear, what amount did the Baalim want to give? If he wasn't made a shaliach, truma, how could we say that truma is a truma? It says, Kain tarum gad matem, gam is l'rabo shluchechem. Ma atem l'daschem, av shluchochem l'daschem. So a shaliach, without the das of the balabais, cannot be mafresh tuma. Eloch ma'askinon, kagon to shavi shaliach. He made him a shaliach. V'omar zil trum, go give truma. But lo amalei trum mehani, but he didn't tell him from which fruit. Ustamad balabais kitor mebeinu nusutor. A regular owner separates truma from his middle quality. The shliach went and gave truma from the best. In if the balabais says go after the good stuff, it's clear the balabais had kavana for that. V'im lav, and he was not maskim, and then ein truma so truma. Ameimar umar zutrav Ravashi, iklu lebusta the Demari bar Isik. They visited the garden of Mari. I see Arisa Tamar V'Rimona V'Sari Kamai. The sharecropper of Mari brought dates and pomegranates and put it in front of them. Ameim of Ravashi Achli, Mazutra loy achli. Because they were concerned, maybe the Balabayas doesn't know about it, and we don't want to be Geza. Adachi also Mari bar Isik. Meanwhile, Mari bar Isku Ashkechinu, he found them eating. He asked his sharecropper, why didn't you give the Chachamim the best? So you see, you should have eaten. So it's proof that the Balabayas was maskim. Amar Rava. When Rava said this din of go to the good stuff, that's elinian truma bilvat. Ishum de mitzvahu. And kinichale, he's happy because it's a mitzvah. Al it's only a gift. The only reason he said what he said is mishum kisufusa udomrak. He was embarrassed. So there's no riot from there. Toshma. Modeo Go ahead. I have not received any messages.
Yeah, we have one sent about 8 p.m. Margaret from local.
I'll go to get my phone 1 sec. Okay. Just go ahead and connect me, please.
Okay, let me put you on the brief hold. One moment.
What's happening?
I'm just waiting for this nurse to get on the phone.
It's probably a Zoom, a FaceTime call
Oh.
in the same computer. Okay.
Toshma. Odeo aleim v'samach. There is a din that food is not mekabel tum unless it's wet. Now let's say there's dew on the produce, and he's happy that there's dew there because it's moist. So harei zeh b'chiyutan. It's as if he put it there in the first place because he's happy with it. Nigvu afal pishu samach. If he dried it up, if you see him taking a towel and drying out all the fruits, it's eina b'chiyutan. It's obvious that he's not happy. Time of my lav mishum delo amrinan kivin degloy milsa da'ashta nichale mi kardami nichale. This is a kasha on Rava, who says that Yeush lo midas have Yeush. So shiny Hossam, the chsiv Yutan, but it's written Yitain, ki Yitain, which means unless you put the water on it yourself, it's not machshir. Ihachi reishanami. How come if it's just you find with dew on it, it works? So Gemara says Hossam ki Rav Papa Rami, chsiv ki Yitain, and we read it ki Yutan. So Haketzad, Be'inan Shechiyutan Dumi de Chiyitain. Ma Yitain Ladas, you have to know about it. Have Kiyutan Nami Ladas. That water that fell by themselves will be machshir as long as the person's happy with it. And he's there. So there's no proof against Rava. Toshma. A river that washes away items, anyone can keep those things. Somebody lost an item, and a river can dump something where no people are, and it's already considered like hefter. And if you find it, you can keep it. So the isur dumideh tera. Ma'at tera. Let's say you find something; it's permitted to everybody. Bein this basin and bein the less basin, whether it has a simon or not. Shara. Af isura, that which you're not allowed to take because, for example, the Bailam were not misyayish, bein di ispesim and bein di less besim in asura, and this is a strong proof against Rava that Yeush Shalom Midas is not Yeush. To Yufta the Rava to Yufta. There are 6 places in Shas that we paskin like a Abaya. Yal Kagam, the Yud of Ya'al is the Yeush Shalom Midas. The other cases are Eid Zomem, Lechi, the case of Lechi and Erevin, Kiddushin, it's not Nimsur Labia, Gilui Das Begitten, and Mumer Oichel Nevelis Lachis, Amarle Ravacha Ben Raval Ravashi. The Chimiacha di Tutuf Rava. You ask the Kasha on Rava, and Yeush Shalom Midas is not Yeush, and you can't keep it. Hani Tami Dezik Echachil Lehu. The dates that blow off trees, how do we eat them? How do we know that the Baal Tmorim is not Misyayish? Everybody knows when dates fall on the ground, various creepy crawling things eat them. The owner gives up hope of getting him back. Now, Yasmi, the lav name Achilin, Yisomim, they have no das. It can't be Moichel. How do we know that the tree doesn't belong to Yisomim? Arle Bagabar Yasmi Lama Chaskina. We don't have to have a chazaka that every valley belongs to Yisomim, and therefore from that we'll prohibit all dates because of suffix. We go after Rove, and Rove fields are not owned by Yisomim. So if it was Mughzik v'oimed Yisomim mai, what if we know that it was owned by Yisomim, Krachto mai, or if these are trees that don't have any shkotzim v'ramashim, so the din is Asirin, you're not allowed to eat such dates. Okay, then we said Krichus Bershus Harabim, you have stocks in Rishus Harabim, or Elu Shalo, you can keep it. Amarava, a field with Davar Sheish Bosimin. Even if there was, they were tied with a special way of tying it, it's okay, you can keep it. Amaks of a Rabbah, Simin Asr Ladors, Lavi Simin. A simin that could be stepped on and destroyed is not a simin. Rava Amar Lo Yishon B'Davar Shein Bo Simin. When can you keep it if it doesn't have a simin? You can't keep it. You got to announce it. Amaks of a Rav is simin Asr Lidores, Havi simin. He holds that a simin, even though it could be destroyed, it's still a good simin. Other people learn it as a standalone sigya. Simin Asr Lidores. You have a simin that could be destroyed. Rabba Omer Lavi simin. It's not a simin. For Rava Amar Havi simin. So then we bring a proof. It's not. Krichos b'shus harabim or elu shalom. B'shus hayachid no telu machos. He has to announce it. Now hechi dami. Either let's put simin. If there's no simin, so b'shus hayachid my machos. What is he announcing if he finds a b'shus hayachid? There's no simin. Elalav b'di ispus simin. We're talking about there is a simin. Uktani b'shus harabim or elu shalom. What do you mean? If there's a simin, why is he allowed to keep it? Alma, because since it's Rosh Hashanah, people are going to walk there, they're going to step on the simin and destroy it. Comes out simin asli Slavi simin to yufta l'rava. I could explain the case where there's no simin. My makra is if you find Rosh Hashanah, there's no simin. What are you announcing? Makra is mokom. The person who's going to claim it is going to tell you where he lost it. The place is the siman. Virabba Omar, Mokam Lavi siman. Identifying the place where it was lost is not a siman. Dietmar, Mokom, Rabba Omar Lavi siman. Rabbi says identifying where an object is not a sin. That makes sense because it could be kicked or rolled to a new place. Rava Amar Habi Simin. Toshma. Krichos B'Shus Harabi. If you find stalks, B'Shus Harabi or Elu Shalom. B'Shus Hayachid no Telemak. You got to announce it. The alumos, which are large sheets, Bein B'Shus Harabi, Bein B'Shus Hayachid no Telemak. You can't keep them. Rabba Echmi Tartzla. The Rabba Echmi, how does each explain? Rabba Metartzla Tameh. That large shows have a siman. The Rabba Metartzla Tameh, that the siman is the makom that you found it. Rabba Metartzla Tameh, Krichos B'Shar Elu Shalom. Okay, this will continue tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow.